Off you go.
Is anybody there? Said the traveler, knocking on the moonlit door. As his voice in the silence champed the grasses of the forest's fringed floor.
Yeah, actually, turn on. Read it too.
And a bird flew up out of the turret, above the traveller's head, and he smote upon the door a second time. Is anybody there? He said.
But no one descended to the traveler, no head from the leaf-ridged hill. Leaned over and looked into his grey eyes, where he stood perplexed and still.
But only a host of the phantoms listeners that dwelt into the lone house then stood listening into the quiet of the moonlight, to that voice from the world of men.
Stood thronging the faint moonbeams of the dark stair that goes down the empty hall, darkening in an air stirred and shaken. Paul!
Thank you. You need to come down quickly. Stay in your place.
Oh,
Stay in your
my
place.
pen
Now.
accidentally flew.
I know. Read a 6.
And he felt in his heart their strangeness, their stillness answering his cry, while his horse moved, toppling the dark turf, neath the starry and leafy sky.
Well done.
For he suddenly smote the door, even louder, and lifted his head. Tell them I came, and no one answered, but I kept my word, he said.
Never at least made the listeners, though every word he spake fell echoing through the shadows of the still house, from the one man left awake.
Aye, they heard his foot upon the stirrup, and the sound on the iron stone, and how the silence surged softly backward when the plunging hoofs were gone.
Thank you. Well read all. I'm going to read it the second time now. So have your pencil in your hand. Underline 3 words or phrases which you feel create a Gothic atmosphere.
And accidentally flew, and I was saying the front of mine.
Okay. Circle 3 words you'd like to check the meaning of. And put a star next to the stanzas where the traveller speaks.
Can I circle more words?
Try to keep it to 3, but you can if you'd like to. Similarly, if there are fewer than 3 words which you're not sure of, then just circle ones you're not sure of.
I have a question for one of the quotations.
Can I come to that in a moment? Because I want to read the poem a second time. Is anybody there? Said the traveller, knocking on the moonlit door. And his horse in the silence champed the grasses of the forest's ferny floor. And a bird flew up out of the turret, above the traveller's head. And he smote upon the door a second time. Is there anybody there? He said. But no one descended to the traveller. No head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over and looked into his grey eyes, where he stood perplexed and still. But only a host of phantom listeners that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world of men. Stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair that goes down to the empty hall, hearkening in an air stirred and shaken by the lonely traveller's call. Ben, focus on donkeys. And he felt in his heart their strangeness, their stillness answering his cry, while his horse moved, propping the dark turf neath the starred and leafy sky. For he suddenly smote the door, even louder, and lifted his head. Tell them I came, and no one answered, that I kept my word, he said. Never the least stir made the listeners, though every word he spake fell echoing through the shadowiness of the still house from the one man left awake. Aye, they heard his foot upon the stirrup, and the sound of iron on stone, and how the silence surged softly backward when the plunging hoofs were gone. Okay, so let's go backwards with these. Each of the stanzas has got numbers. Who can tell me which numbered stanzas has the traveller actually speaking?
1 and 7.
1 and 7. And an extra one, Samir. 2 as well. So you should have 3 stars there, 1, 2 and 7. Arignac, how did you know the traveller was actually speaking in those stanzas?
They were quotation marks.
Very good. You look for those speech marks, the punctuation. Ola?
Isn't there also one on 76?
No. Are you looking at neath?
Yeah.
Yes. Can anyone tell me what neath means? Neath. Malika? Good. Beneath. Underneath. Okay? So that little apostrophe mark there is telling you a couple of letters have been missed off the word. Why might the poet choose to miss a couple of letters off the word? Eva?
So he can keep like the time in between to his poem.
Brilliant. He's going for his rhythm, isn't he? Okay, so the next one. What words did people pick out? What strange words have they spotted here? Rob?
Perplexed.
Perplexed.
I
What
found
does
the
it mean?
meaning. It means like they're confused.
Well done. So perplexed, confused. Arthur?
Champed.
Champed. You managed to find it?
Well, I think I know what it means, but I don't know for sure. I think it means
Okay, have a look in the dictionary and hopefully you'll be able to tell us. Ola?
smoke.
Smote. Did you find it? Okay, have a look. Malika?
Spade.
Spake. So both smote and spake are past tense words. So they're verbs, they're action words in past tense. What might spake mean? Good, spake. So it's something spoken in the past tense. Faisal?
And hearkening.
Hearkening, very good. Yes, hearkening. Have you managed to find it? Have a look.
Smoke is
Well done. To smote is to hit something. To smite is to hit. So he's knocking on the door. Smiting the door. Samir.
Thronging.
Thronging. Have you had a look? Okay, see if you can find it. Let's do one more. Who haven't I spoken to? Nadia.
Dwelt.
Dwelt. Again, it's a past tense. Dwelt.
It's kind of like you're dwelling around.
Good. We don't want to use, we don't want to use the same word in the definition.
Like you dwelled in the cave, like you went.
Close. But we don't want to use the same word. Matthew?
It comes from the word dwelling, meaning house or home. And so if you dwelt there, it means you lived or
Very
stayed
good.
there for a period of time.
Excellent. So a dwelling is a home, and so if you dwell somewhere, you live there, or you stay there for a period of time. We're going to move on just because of time. We'll come back to any definitions we're not sure of. Did you find it? Okay, we'll need a large one. But to champ, you're right, is to eat. Yeah, so the horse is eating the grass at its feet. So, I want us to think about the Gothic atmosphere. And we're going to have a brief discussion now about some of the words and phrases you've underlined.
Or even all patience.
We're going to come back to definitions like I said now. Rob, what's the problem? Okay?
I'm just looking for a word and she keeps saying, give it to me, give it to me.
He took
Okay,
the
we've
whole
got-
time.
That's fine. We've got plenty of time and plenty of dictionaries. So Lara, you use it for now. Rob, you can use another one another time. So, I'm looking for the words and phrases you underlined which suggest Gothic imagery. Look at it.
I thought the phantom being above it.
Because
Because there's something about ghosts and maybe scary.
very good. Samir and the man, can you wait now? We're into our discussion phase. I see you looking at the dictionary, which is good. We'll come back to that. So we've got something you can see and hear, a creature who is ghostly, a horrifying creature. Arthur?
Moonlit.
Moonlit, good. Why is moonlit Gothic?
Because it's a myth that ghosts are scarier at night and they'll only come out at night and when the midnight bells strike.
Very good. We call it the witching hour, don't we? Midnight onwards, when you're in the pitch of darkness. Darkness is frightening because you can't see what's around you and it makes you feel vulnerable. Anna?
There's stillness, conjuring, and cry.
Why is that horrifying or Gothic?
Well, it's not really horrifying, but it's very silent and the demon closes there.
He feels alone and isolated. When we're in really quiet environments, you feel like anything could happen. It's quite scary because you feel completely alone. Doris?
Shadowiness, because shadows can scare us.
Good. Shadowiness, because shadows frighten us. Ola?
Of the forest, burning floor.
What technique is that? The forest's burning floor?
Illusion.
Well done. So why is that frightening in this case?
I kind of find it frightening because it's burning and forest.
Okay, so for you, that alliteration makes it frightening. That's fine. People respond to poems in personal ways as well. Let's just take two more. Eleanor?
Strangeness. Because in a way it could be weird, but at the same time it could be strange in a scary way.
Absolutely. What's amazing is how many of the words we pulled out ourselves are coming out now. Final one, Nadia. Why is that?
He's alone and it just scares me.
Okay. When you're alone, you feel vulnerable, you feel isolated, you feel like something frightening could happen. He never actually sees the listeners, even though we know that they're there. He just feels the tension in the atmosphere. So, let's do some writing. We're going to have to return to this next lesson as the bell is about to go, but can you create a table in your books, please? On the left-hand column, one page.
A whole table.
One page.
One entire page?
One page.
Is it okay if I do
Yes, that's fine.
How much?
2 columns. The left column needs to say evidence.
2 times what?
The 2 columns. So the left column needs to say evidence, and the right column will say effect. So we'll return to this, and we will put all of our words and phrases in the left-hand column, and then we will, in the right-hand column, explain how they create a Gothic atmosphere.
I've left a ruler at home. Can I borrow one?
Your,
Ruler.
do I have one here? Yes.
What should
Oh,
we write
thank
on?
you.
What should we write on something? Just write evidence in the federal.
Do we split it in half?
Yes. Looks like the same. Okay.
Do you like the examples?
Other way around. Evidence, then effect.
Do you like the examples?
We will come to that next lesson. Okay, can we pack away please and stand behind your places? Take the poem with you. That's good. Don't rush, Darius. We'll return to it next time, as I said. Okay, when I've seen your places ready, you can head off. So take behind your places for a moment. Thank you, miss. That's fine.